I see IoT in the news a lot. What does it stand for and what is it?
So IoT stands for Internet of Things. It's a buzzword, marketing buzzword in the information technology industry these days. Really what Internet of Things refers to is all of the connected devices that have been coming out on the market recently. And we're talking about that on Cyber Sentinel because there are security implications to all these little devices. Good examples of IoT devices are all your video cameras for security applications, even refrigerators and coffee makers and doorbells and thermostats, all those things in your house. Your house is probably full of this stuff. All these devices connect to the network. And because the development timelines for these are really short, everybody's trying to get in to that market very quickly. A lot of these don't have good security protocols in place on these devices. And we're finding that these devices can be leveraged by hackers to form a foothold into a network. At the home, this is pretty prevalent. It's not as big an impact maybe because of the type of data that you have at your house, but in a corporate network, we really want to get controls around these kinds of devices. So when we look for these on a network, we want to see how can we segment these devices off of the corporate data and make sure that if they are compromised, the impact of that compromise is lowered. In the home, there's not a lot you can do to defend yourself. Most people do not know how to upgrade the firmware and the software in their smart television or their refrigerator. But these are the kind of things we have to worry about on a corporate network and making sure that those IoT devices are segmented away and protected in a way that they're not going to impact the data that's on the network. We had a company recently that contacted us. They were having major performance issues. They thought their ISP was not delivering the bandwidth that they were paying for. It turned out that when we went in and looked at them, their bandwidth was completely being used because one of their IoT devices had been compromised and unknown actors were using that device to share out files across the internet. Once we put some controls around that device and got it cleaned up, their bandwidth was restored to normal and they were able to continue with the business operations. So we need to pay attention to those IoT devices on the corporate network.